It's clear that there is a real interest in well-being in France and elsewhere, and we in Britain have a lot to learn from where the French debate has gone. Stiglitz, Sen and Fitoussi work in the Sarkozy Commission on the measurement of economic performance and social progress really has had an international impact in taking the debate on well-being to a new level. And its justification for focusing on well-being is crucial to what the British government is now doing. It said what we measure affects what we do, and if our measurements are flawed, decisions may be distorted. And that's the key point. When famously the GDP measures were constructed as part of the Keynesian revolution in the 30s and 40s, Simon Kuznets said, the welfare of a nation can scarcely be inferred from a measurement of national income as defined by the GDP. But we have ended up, politicians, policymakers, experts, trapped in the GDP model. And if we're going to break free from the GDP model, we need some other measurements that rival the GDP. And that's why the British government, David Cameron, Prime Minister in the coalition government in which I serve, has asked the Office of National Statistics to develop indicators to measure well-being, because we are in the process of trying to work out what kind of measures we could have well-being. The balance between some of the objective measures, which we've already got data, and trying to get subjective measures alongside, and how you get subjective measures that aren't simply saying, are you happy? And also, I mean, your experts are here, not me. I think one of the other problems, as I understand it, is if you ask people how they feel on a range from 0 to 10, by and large, we rather phlegmatic, stoic Brits tend to say about 7. And if you think about it, because you feel reasonable, you don't want to claim you're too happy, that's rather showing off and be outrageous. You're rather inhibited about admitting if you really are feeling miserable, so about 7. And trying to break the national perception of well-being from about 7 into something a little bit richer and more diverse is a challenge for these statisticians of the ONS. I'm sure they're going to rise to it. For me in the coalition government, there is a challenge we've faced is what about economic growth? And Richard referred to the fact that one of the things that delayed me this morning was we've had a big announcement by Pfizer, the international pharmaceutical company, that it's withdrawing from a big R&D facility in England. And so all the media are worried, what does this mean for jobs, what does this mean for growth? And they're absolutely legitimate worries. And one of the blind alleys that this debate has moved up is that the Eastern paradox has left us trapped in this belief of no real link between GDP and well-being. Now, Richard Easton is a great man, but some later research, I think the NBER in the US sponsors some research, has shown that there is perhaps more of a long-term connection between economic performance and well-being than you would believe from the most vivid formulations of the Eastern paradox. And if you think about it, you would expect there to be some kind of link, because some of the things that we know contribute to well-being are also things that contribute to economic performance. Education, for example, freedom, sense of personal control. So I hope we won't get bogged down in the debate that an economic growth agenda and a well-being agenda are inevitably in conflict. They're not the same, and there is more to economic growth in the way in which it's conventionally managed, but we're not giving up on economic growth. And I personally have always found the kind of Aristotelian sense, understanding of well-being, the pursuit of worthwhile personal goals, a feeling of belonging as absolutely fundamental. And the most crisp summary of that, I think, was Brian Little, who said that what really matters is not the pursuit of happiness, but the happiness of pursuit. And for me, that captures a lot of the wisdom, perhaps sometimes ancient classical wisdom, that we can draw from this debate on well-being. Thank you very much indeed.